In this demonstration, you will learn how to mesh a model and apply boundary conditions in Simcenter 3D. We have our part open. The part file is the active part. Then we also have the FEM and simulation files already created. In order to put a mesh on the model, we need to use the FEM file. So we have to make it the work part. We can do that by just activating the FEM file window. And now we can see that the FEM file is displayed in work parts. We're going to put a solid 3D tetrahedral mesh on the part. Choose 3D tetrahedral. We have to select a body. We only have one body. We click it from the graphics window. Now you can see we have one body selected. For the element size, we can choose automatic element size, and we can also change that if we want to enter an element size of our own. And we can accept the rest of the defaults. Click OK to generate a mesh on the model. Now you can see we have our mesh. Take a look at it. See if there are any areas or if there's anything that has failed. For boundary conditions and loads, those are applied to the simulation file. Again, we can activate that, make it the displayed in work part by clicking on the simulation file window. Inside of here you can see that we have one active solution and we also have one active subcase. First thing that we want to do is we're going to constrain this top surface of the model. And again, these loads and boundary conditions aren't necessarily something that you would do. They're just to show you what we can do. So we're going to do a fixed constraint on this surface. Go up in the top border bar and we're going to choose polygon face. Select that face and click OK. And you can see that what's happened is it has put a symbol on there indicating that all degrees of freedom have been fixed on that face. Next thing we want to do is add a force. Click the load type list, choose force. We're going to add it to that face. Again, we'll choose polygon face. Make the selection on the geometry. Can add a load here, say 200 newtons. We need to tell it what's the direction. We want to put it in the down direction, which aligns with the z-axis. So we'll just choose Z, and now we'll be applying a downward force in the Z direction. Click OK. And we can see where that force is. If we want to see that a little more easily, we can change the rendering style to static wireframe. And then now you can see the arrows for that particular load are pointing in the Z direction. Change our rendering style back to shaded with edges. That's where it was originally. And now we have our model set up to solve. When you create the loads and boundary conditions, they're put into the active solution and subcase. If we wanted to create a second solution, we could easily just right-click the simulation file, choose New Solution. It automatically defaults to Solution 2. You can give it any name that you want. We're going to create that second solution, and now you can see Solution 2. These options are for the subcase, and we have a second subcase. But if you look inside of each of these, you will not have, so we look at constraints. We have the fixed constraint there, and in Solution 2, we don't have any constraints. If we want to put that constraint inside of this solution, we have to go up to the constraint container. we can right click it and add to active solution or step. And then it has added that to the second solution that we just created. And just like adding the solutions, we can also delete the solution. Just right click it, Simulation Navigator, choose delete, and now we're back to our original solution and the original subcase. Activate the solution by double clicking it, and now we're back to our active solution 1 and the subcase with the load we created. This ends our demonstration on learning how to mesh a model and apply boundary conditions in Simcenter 3D.